All right.
New phone, who this, dog? Gee.
Well, I can't see around it. Oh, damn, look at that.
Oh, that sucks, man.
Yeah, it does. Oh, Daddy. Oh, Daddy.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome out to another episode of the Weekend Wrap-Up with the Game Time Guru and Myles Clifford. Myles, what's up, man?
Hey. What's up, man? How you doing?
Good. How was the workout today?
Yeah, it was pretty good. You know, post Super Bowl blues, we were a little puffy from all the salt we had and a little heavy from all the food, but it was good.
Yeah, I agree. You know, got to enjoy the Super Bowl with the food and, you know, got to get back in the gym. Little by little, we'll get it all back. Super Bowl blues, though. I want to talk about the Super Bowl. Your thoughts. Were you happy, sad, neutral about the Eagles winning?
Man, I was pumped. Like, anytime you beat the Patriots or knock off the top dog, it's always exciting. So I was excited the Eagles win. You know, we were cheering for them back in 2004, and it's just cool. You know, that's their franchise's first Super Bowl, so that's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. As a Cowboys fan, I was in that situation where I didn't want either one of them to win originally, but I've been talking to everybody about that stupid documentary Tom versus Time, because once I started watching it, I was like, gosh dang it. Now I wouldn't care if the Patriots won, but then I started rooting for the Eagles because they have this exciting energy about them. They have since the playoffs started. You know, Carson Wentz went down right, you know, a couple weeks before the playoffs. The whole team just got right by. It was like the next man up mentality. They just put in Foles. Everybody backed them up. They never stopped believing they were the best team. And it's kind of cool to see how both teams got to where they were at. Tom Brady's 40-plus, and, you know, Nick Foles comes in, and it's an underdog story. Both of them were there, and the Eagles won it, and it was really exciting. Did you think they were going to catch the Hail Mary pass at the end? What's your honest thought?
Oh, dude, I did. When we were sitting there, they were down 8, right? They had the ball, and I was just like, you know what? You know, because they got pinned deep because they tried that trickeration on the kickoff return. Like, when they had it, everybody's like, well, game's over. I was like, I don't think so. This is the Patriots. Like, they're never dead. Like, ever. There could be 1 second left, and I honestly would be holding my breath. And I was that whole time. And on that Hail Mary, you know, thought maybe there was going to be some Tom Brady magic. And going back to that Tom versus Time, dude, so I haven't seen any of it yet, but I've, like, for the last 4 or 5 years, like, I love Tom Brady just because I like the way he plays. He's fiery. He expects the best out of everybody. Like, I love Tom Brady. So I was bummed that he didn't get another Super Bowl ring. Like, now that the Steelers already have 6, I don't really care because I was a Niners fan. I am a Niners fan. I always want them to have more rings. Now I'm just rambling, so I'm going to shut up.
That's actually a good insight. I didn't care anymore as well about the rings because of the Steelers. As a Cowboys fan, Niners fan, we know, you know, we didn't want them to have more. Once the Steelers got theirs, it really doesn't matter. It's not that big of a deal if the Patriots got another one, so I wasn't even that mad about it. A funny stat that came up yesterday, though, was now Tom Brady has moved into second all-time in Super Bowl losses with 3. And I think I can't remember who he's behind, but he's tied with a lot of other quarterbacks that have 3 losses. What was that?
Jim Kelly would probably be Jim Kelly for the Bills.
Yeah, I think it might have been Jim Kelly. Yeah, you might be right. I saw the chart there on there, and I was like, oh, dang, he's up there. What it reminded me of, though, was LeBron James, because Tom Brady, yeah, he's the greatest of all time. He's got his rings, but he also has his losses, and it's kind of one of those stories like to be a champion and to be great, you also have to take the defeat. And I think that the more you get to, the more chances, obviously, you have to lose because you're playing the best of the best. And I think it kind of helps LeBron James' legacy because he's lost quite a few finals appearances. And, I mean, he's won a few, lost a few. Same thing as Tom Brady, except Tom Brady kind of front-loaded his with a lot of victories before he started losing a few. But I just thought that was interesting. One thing I wanted to bring up, though, go ahead.
I have a question for you. So speaking of the LeBron James, Tom Brady type of who's the GOAT, you know, that type of stuff, who's had better teammates during their championship runs? Has it been Tom Brady or has it been LeBron James? Because
oh, man.
Because my opinion is Tom Brady's never had weapons. Like, he's had Gronkowski, and, I mean, he's like his receivers right now. Obviously, Cooks is a stud, but he's got Amendola and Edelman. Well, obviously Edelman's hurt, but Hogan. Like, are they really that good of receivers, or does Tom Brady make them better? Tom Brady's best year is when he actually. Sorry, I'm driving past semis. Tom Brady's best year is when he had Dante Stallworth and Randy Moss, and like he blew up the stat line. I mean, has he ever had really good teammates? Has LeBron ever had really good teammates? I know he's built super teams, but are they really super? That's just my question.
That's a valid question. Here's my thoughts. I'd be interested to hear what like any listeners have to say about it. I think Tom Brady, like obviously with Randy Moss, they break the record. They dominated. They went undefeated until they lost in the Super Bowl. So obviously it was one of the best seasons in NFL history before that happened. And so that was the time he had some good receivers. I think the thing is like the mediocre receivers, like the Hogans, the Amendolas, the Edelmans, the ones that are, they get looked over, but they're still good. They fit that system better, I believe. I really do, because you don't have to be the fastest receiver to play with Tom Brady. I think he makes them better, and the system makes them better. They put them in position to be successful. All they got to do is catch the ball. They're smart enough to get it done. They're hard workers. So I think that, man, that's tough, because LeBron, like you said, he had his super teams, especially with Miami, with D. Wade and Chris Bosh. But you brought up a point one time, was Chris Bosh really that good, or was he a good player on a crappy team with the Raptors before he got to Miami? I just don't know. Same thing with Kevin Love. I'm not even 100% sure there. That's a tough one. I'd say LeBron's had better players overall when he's made a championship runs, but the thing is in basketball, you're only playing with 5 guys on the court, so like 4 other dudes. So all you need is 1 or 2 good players. In the NFL, you got 11 guys on each side of the ball, and so I think it's more impressive that Tom Brady has done what he's done with the people around him.
I agree. I believe Tom Brady's had the best coach in NFL history, while LeBron James has had, let's be real, like, he's had some of the worst coaches I've ever, I don't even know.
I wonder what he would do with a good coach, if he'd mesh well or not. Who knows, man? But that's a good comparison, though. Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, we don't know what's going to happen this offseason. Obviously, there were rumors going on earlier in the year when the Garoppolo trade happened to the Niners. It sounded like there was some mixed up of opinions and such in the front office. Do you think Belichick comes back for another year with Brady, or what do you think is going to happen to the Patriots going into next season?
I think he does. I mean, they still got, obviously, that game, they had no problem, did you ever think, here's my question, did you ever think heading into the playoffs the Patriots weren't going to make the Super Bowl?
No.
Neither did I. Yeah, neither did I. And so, I have that same feeling for next year. Gronkowski, I saw something today saying that he's going to, weigh his options for the future, think about retirement. Gronk's not going to retire. They have another 2 to 3 year run left in him where they could win 1, 2, or 3 Super Bowls, I feel. So I don't think Belichick's going to leave that on the table. He obviously wants to go down as the greatest coach of all time. He already is going to, but if he could solidify his legacy with another 1 or 2 Super Bowls, as long as they don't play the NFC East, they're good.
Right? That's their kryptonite right there. Unless it's the Cowboys, and they would probably end up beating us, so that'd be devastating. The thing is, I'm happy that it wasn't an Alabama and New England football season, so it kind of gave me a little bit of vindication since Alabama won the Super Championship. But one thing that was similar between the Alabama win and the Eagles win, though, was that they won with backup quarterbacks. I want to talk about Nick Foles before we wrap this up. What do you think happens with Nick Foles and the Eagles going into next season? How do you feel if you're Carson Wentz? I want to know your thoughts.
If I'm Carson Wentz, I feel good. I think the Eagles, if Foles wants to be a starter, then he's not going to stay there. I think the Eagles need to sit down with him and say, hey, look, you're going to start the first couple weeks of the season until Wentz is 100% ready to go. We don't want a Robert Griffin situation here again. And so I think if Foles stays, he stays with the mindset that he's a backup. I think he'd be fine with that because that team's still got that talent next year. They have another chance at making another run. And so, but if Foles wants money and he wants to be the starter, he's going to go somewhere else. The only problem is Foles, they fit that system to him. So if he goes somewhere and they try to make him a pocket, this stand-up pocket passer without some of these RPOs and stuff like that? Like, is he going to succeed? We saw him with the Rams. We saw him. I don't know, man. Maybe he goes to the Chiefs, actually, just as a contingency plan for Patrick Mahomes. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, like, where he'd fit. I don't know if he's any better than Bortles. So if, like, the Jags didn't take Cousins and they ended up needing to find another quarterback to take over for Bortles, I'm wondering if Foles would even be an upgrade at that point, because while he did win a Super Bowl, just like you said, the Jags system doesn't fit him. The Rams system didn't fit him. Didn't he go to the Chiefs, too? He went to 2 different teams before he came back to the Eagles. So it's like he
was on the Chiefs.
That's what it was. Yeah, see, like, he has to have the system fit him, which is fine. A lot of quarterbacks are system quarterbacks, but I just don't see him going anywhere. I think he should stay as a backup. I mean, he got his, you know what I mean? He got his championship, so I'm happy for him. Man, I think the Eagles are going to be in a good spot next year. I honestly think the NFC East is going to be on a rise next year. You got Alex Smith going over to the Redskins. You got the Cowboys coming back with Zeke not having a suspension. We'll see how they do if they can get some receivers. And then Giants have a whole new coaching staff, so we're going to see what they do. But obviously the Eagles, I'm excited for it. Anything that you're excited for in the sports world coming up this week, Myles? Football's over?
Nah, man, now that football's over, it's kind of a bummer. Spring training, pitchers and catchers reports soon, so that's exciting. I'm a huge baseball fan, so I'm pumped for that. And then the good thing about baseball, when it starts, man, that's the sign that spring's right around the corner and summer's coming and we can put these dreary winter months behind us. So I'm excited for baseball to get going. March Madness, too, we're getting close to that. Boise State had an impressive win. I guess you could say impressive. They won in overtime. It was a fun, exciting game. I was there. But, man, really, in the sports world, nothing much, dude. The Jazz keep continuing to impress. Somehow Rubio, man, he dropped another 34 the other night. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I love sports.
Yeah, I can't wait till next Monday's weekend wrap-up. We'll figure out something to talk about, I'm sure, because, like I said, sports are always going somewhere, but we just don't know where right now. This week, we don't know what to expect. Hopefully something exciting happens next week, or else we'll talk about chess. But hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Weekend Wrap-Up. We'll talk to you next week.